Why is so hard to reach Master in Brawl Stars? Well, to understand why Master is so hard, you have to understand what kind of players are out there. A Master player isn't just someone with good reflexes or a lot of damage at the end of the match. He's a player who knows exactly what he's doing every second. He knows when to enter, when to retreat, when to sacrifice a duel, and when to force a push. In Master, you don't see people running aimlessly around the map. Every move has a reason, and any misstep is immediately punished. One aspect that many players ignore is positioning. In lower ranks, you can only win by aiming or with a broken brawler. In Master, positioning is everything. If you are one step too far ahead, you are punished. If you stay too far behind, you lose control of the map. Master players know exactly where to stand, depending on the brawler, the game mode, and the composition of both teams. Here it is no longer about getting a lot of kills, but about controlling the area. Many times, a Master player prefers not to force a duel, but to keep the pressure on the opponent until he makes a mistake. It is a much more mature style of play and much harder to learn. One of the biggest mistakes that keeps players stuck in Master is obsessing over kills. In Ranked Master, kills matter far less than the objective. You can have the most kills in a match and still lose if you don't play the objective. Master players know when to ignore a fight and when to focus strictly on what needs to be done to win the round. For example, in Gem Grab, it's not who has the most kills, it's who controls the midfield and knows how to retreat in time. In Brawl Ball, it's not how much damage you deal, it's positioning and timing. Master forces you to let go of your ego and play smart. Many players can have very good matches. They can play like monsters for a few rounds. The problem is consistency. Masters is not won with one good match, but with tens and hundreds of matches played at a very high level. You have to play well when you are tired, when you are nervous, when you lose in a row. This is where the difference between a good player and a Master player is made. Consistency means not to collapse mentally after a loss, not to start playing chaotically, to stay calm and make good decisions even when you feel that the game is against you. Very few players manage to do this. The path to mastery is completely different whether you play solo or in a team. Solo is much harder because you are dependent on two other people you don't know. You don't know how they think, you don't know what their style is, and you can't communicate effectively. In a team, things change completely. You can strategize, adapt your picks, and correct mistakes more easily. That's why a lot of extremely good players don't reach mastery solo, but they reach it quickly when they play in a stable team. It's not a shame, it's simply the reality of ranked. Another serious reason why Masters is hard is mental fatigue. High-level ranked drains you of energy. After a few intense matches, you start to think harder, react slower, and make simple mistakes. Then comes tilt, that moment when you start playing nervously and forcing things that shouldn't be forced. Masters players know when to stop. I know that sometimes the best decision is to close the game and come back later. This is a skill that many people don't take seriously, but it makes a huge difference. The hard truth is that most players will never reach Master. Not because they are weak, but because Master is too demanding. It takes time, patience, adaptation, emotional control, and a real desire to get better. Many play Brawl Stars for fun, and that is perfectly fine. Master is not for everyone. Those who do get there are usually players who treat ranked almost like a competitive sport. They analyze, adapt, and accept that they will lose a lot before they win. Even though it is extremely difficult, the path to Master makes you a much better player. You learn things you would never have learned in lower ranks. You change your mindset, your playstyle, and the way you look at Brawl Stars. Even if you don't reach Master, the progress you make is real. Ultimately, Master is not just a rank. It is confirmation that you have understood the game at a very high level. Master in ranked Brawl Stars is hard because it doesn't forgive you. It doesn't forgive you for small mistakes. It doesn't forgive you for tilt. It doesn't forgive you for lack of concentration. It's a rank that separates the very good players from the truly top players. If you want to get there, you have to accept that the road will be long and frustrating, but also extremely satisfying. If you liked the video, press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments where you are in ranked and whether or not you dream of Master. See you in the next video.